Okay, so here's how I cut a lot of my bottles. Some people prefer the hot water and cold tap method. I'm using an air gun, a hot gun, and I've also got a bucket of cold water down at my feet, which you may or may not see. Done a couple already. The phone's been charging up. Has been a bit messy. I mean, that's not ideal, but better than the other cut that I had. I mean, that one here is pretty jagged, as you can see, and that would normally head to the bin, but for the fact I can use the pottery wheel to sand this down, which is why I'm going to keep it. Going to end up being a vase, this one, I think. Good old Smirnoff. So what I'm going to cut now is try Captain Morgan. There we are. So it's been scored using that plank you saw earlier, and what we're going to do is see if we can cut this. So you might not hear me, but here we go. So what I'm going to do is hold the, you notice I haven't got it all the way up, it's halfway, so I don't want it literally cooking the bottle. I'll gently and slowly rotate the bottle. And there will be Puritans out there who are saying that this isn't uniform heat, you're not going to get clean cuts from it, but the best one in the world, I haven't got very clean cuts either from holding it under the hot tap. Some people like Bobby Geeter have got a very high success rate there. Me, not so much. I find this is far better. And notice I've got the nozzle at the end there that concentrates the heat over that score line. So I rotate it slowly a couple of times. And notice I'm wearing gloves. That's choice, I prefer to wear gloves. And then once it's been run a couple of times, maybe I dunk it. Hold it in the water for a few seconds. And come back up. You can already see that score line. I don't know if you can see that. It's becoming far more prominent. Quite a thin bottle. This isn't going to take much. Just why I thought it was a good one for the demo. It's not, obviously the score is, I think, drifting upwards, which is fine. I wasn't planning to keep the top of this at all anyway. So rotating it slowly. Do it a couple of times, put it reasonably hot. I have made the mistake with this a couple of times of holding it up to one part for too long, and that has damaged the glass. I've damaged a couple of JDs doing that. The JDs, I think the wet tar method is best for that. Anyway, let's see. There you go. That's come off. Not the, not the cleanest of cuts, but they seldom are with this game. Nicely above the logo, which is good if somebody wants that. Again, if I was using the 100 grit sanding block, let me turn this off for a minute, would probably throw this away, but because I'm going to use the sanding, the potter's wheel with the sanding block, I'm confident I can flatten this quite easily. So nice one, Bobby, your idea that with the potter's wheel, mate. But here we go, that's one done. Here's a Gordon's gin, a smaller one, which I've done. So very quickly see if I can do this one for you too. These odd ones, you really do need that plank of wood that I use, or the block that Bobby uses to score it, I think. Or just again use the tile saw. The only problem I've got with the tile saw is it's holding the bottle steady. I've messed a couple of bottles up that way. This I think still got some in it if I'm going to throw that, in case it's volatile. Don't want that blowing up on me now. So I don't even like gin, and Nathan to add, these bottles aren't all mine either. I think this was donated by a pub. It's alcohol free, which probably indicates why it's such a small bottle. Okay, let's see if we can dunk that. Get a few seconds in the cold water and then back up again. And then, sadly not all bottles easily cut this way I think. The thicker ones take an awful lot if they're cut at all. I mean, I cut a vase sized one, a rosé bottle, which you might see me sanding later, and that would only have taken the wet tile saw to do it. It was that thick. So hopefully a couple more rotates of this and we've got it. Then yeah, don't want to hold it too close to the bottle, but at the same time you want to fracture the thing. Try again. I've just heard that cracking, and you can see that score line is starting to get more pronounced. We are winning. It doesn't look entirely clean, but again it doesn't matter that much, thanks to the pottery wheel that we've got. You've seen me show it enough times, and shortly you'll see me using it, and then you'll see why I think it's probably the most important piece of kit you can buy for this game. I think saves so much time and bottles, because without that, trying to get jagged edges and uneven edges evened out is nigh on impossible. You can end up throwing most of your bottles away. This isn't going to take much more for this to yield. That's really getting to be quite deep now, that fracture. But I wasn't so sure how this would go here. I don't know how clean a cut it's going to be, but again we can, you know, with what we've got, we can adjust for that. I've got some more jagged bottles over there which will be made right with that tile. There we go. That's going to go. Sure enough, there it is. So it's up to you whether you think this is better or worse than the hot water, but that to me is not a bad cut for using this method, and that's what I use for this predominantly. Not only that, but I've got children in the house and I don't really want to be cutting glass in the sink where food prep is taking place for them. So I hope that's been informative for you. I noticed we've been on live for 10 minutes, so I'm going to let you go, and when you see me next I'll be sanding some of these down, so catch you then.